Carroll O'Connor was not an easy man to love, nor was he interested in being one. He was brilliant, stubborn, principled, and capable of extraordinary compassion, often all at once. To the world, he was Archie Bunker, the loud, opinionated embodiment of American contradiction. But behind that iconic character lived a deeply intellectual man, shaped by hardship, war, literature, and loss. O'Connor's life was marked by fierce loyalty to his beliefs, devotion to his family, and an intolerance for what he perceived as arrogance or moral posturing. These qualities fueled both his greatest artistic triumphs and his most bitter personal conflicts. His story is not one of gentle harmony, but of intensity, of a man who believed ideas mattered, words carried weight, and character was revealed not in comfort but in confrontation. To understand Carroll O'Connor is to understand the cost of conviction and the burden of carrying grief in public. Bronx, Prongsty, and or mind. Shaped by hardship, born John Carroll O'Connor on August 2, 1924 in the Bronx, New York. Carroll O'Connor grew up in an Irish-American household steeped in storytelling, debate, and tradition. His formative years unfolded against the backdrop of the Great Depression, an era that sharpened his awareness of class struggle and economic fragility. Scarcity was not theoretical, it was lived. These early experiences instilled in him a keen sensitivity to social inequality and the many ways people justify their circumstances. Education was valued deeply in his family, not merely as advancement, but as survival. O'Connor absorbed language, literature, and rhetoric with intensity, developing a lifelong fascination with how words could shape reality. Even as a young man, he was known for his sharp intellect and uncompromising opinions. The Bronx did not soften him, it sharpened him, forging a worldview that would later define both his art and his conflicts. War, discipline, and the formation of a worldview. O'Connor's academic journey took him to Wake Forest University, and later the University of Montana, but it was interrupted by World War II. He served in the United States Merchant Marine, an experience that exposed him to discipline, danger, and the unpredictability of human behavior under pressure. The war stripped away romantic notions of heroism and replaced them with a sober understanding of responsibility and consequence. After the war, he returned to his studies and earned a degree in English, drawn to language as both weapon and shield. For a time, he worked as a teacher, a role that suited his love of ideas and debate. Teaching reinforced his belief that communication mattered, that clarity, honesty, and rigor were moral obligations. These convictions would later collide with the entertainment industry, where compromise was often expected. For O'Connor, compromise without principle was surrender. Ireland, theater, and the long road to recognition. In the 1950s, O'Connor moved to Ireland, enrolling at University College Dublin. Immersed in Irish literary tradition and theater, he refined his craft far from Hollywood's glare. The stage became his proving ground. He studied performance seriously, viewing acting not as celebrity, but as discipline. Ireland deepened his appreciation for character, dialogue, and subtext. When he returned to the United States, success did not come quickly. Throughout the 1960s, O'Connor worked steadily but anonymously, appearing in television guest roles and supporting film parts in productions such as Cleopatra, 1963, What Did You Do in the War, Daddy, 1966, and Point Blank, 1967. These performances revealed his versatility, but recognition remained elusive. O'Connor was patient, though never complacent. He believed talent eventually demanded acknowledgement, even if it took decades. Archie Bunker and the Cultural Earthquake. Everything changed in 1971 when Carroll O'Connor became Archie Bunker on All in the Family. The character was explosive, a working-class man from Queens whose prejudices, fears, and frustrations reflected a nation in cultural upheaval. Many actors would have softened the role. O'Connor did the opposite. He played Archie with brutal honesty, grounding the character in humanity rather than caricature. Archie was wrong often, but he was real. Through him, the show confronted racism, sexism, war, and economic anxiety on primetime television. Audiences didn't just watch Archie, they recognized him. O'Connor's performance earned 4 Primetime Emmy Awards and cemented his place in television history. Yet the role was also a burden. O'Connor understood the responsibility of portraying such a figure, insisting that Archie be shown as a product of fear and ignorance, not a hero. It was acting as moral confrontation. A second act in the heat of the night. In the late 1980s, O'Connor reinvented himself once again as Chief Bill Gillespie in the Heat of the Night. Where Archie Bunker resisted change, Gillespie evolved. He listened, learned, and adapted, particularly in matters of race and justice. O'Connor not only starred in the series, but also served as a producer and writer, shaping its moral and narrative direction. The show explored crime, power, and reconciliation in the American South, offering O'Connor a chance to portray growth rather than stagnation. This role revealed the full range of his artistry, a man capable of embodying both resistance and redemption. Gillespie became proof that O'Connor's intellect and empathy were inseparable. He was no longer simply interpreting culture, he was guiding it. The series' long success affirmed O'Connor's belief that television could challenge audiences without condescension. Fatherhood, adoption, and a devastating loss. In 1962, while filming Cleopatra in Rome, Carroll O'Connor and his wife Nancy Fields O'Connor adopted a 6-year-old boy, naming him Hugh in honor of O'Connor's brother who had died the year before. Fatherhood grounded O'Connor, giving him purpose beyond art. Hugh grew up around television sets and production offices, eventually working briefly on Archie Bunker's Place. O'Connor later created a role for Eon in the Heat of the Night, hoping to offer guidance and opportunity. But Hugh struggled with drug addiction for years. On March 28, 1995, Hugh died by suicide. The loss shattered O'Connor. Grief transformed him. He spoke publicly about addiction, appearing in campaigns for the Partnership for a Drug-Free America. He refused silence, believing tragedy demanded action. His advocacy became a final act of fatherhood. Carroll O'Connor versus Rob Reiner. Of all the conflicts in O'Connor's life, none burned hotter than his animosity toward Rob Reiner, who played Michael Meathead Stivitz. O'Connor openly stated, "I've never hated anyone as much as I hated Rob Reiner." This was not casual resentment. It was philosophical warfare. O'Connor felt Reiner approached the role with arrogance, believing himself morally superior. He resented what he perceived as lecturing disguised as acting. To O'Connor, Reiner's behavior undermined collaboration and disrespected the craft. Their ideological divide mirrored their characters' conflict, blurring fiction and reality. Yet, O'Connor remained professional. He delivered every scene with precision, channeling real tension into performance. Ironically, that hostility fueled the show's authenticity. O'Connor never softened his view. To the end of his life, he maintained that no professional relationship had ever tested him more. Death, legacy, and the weight of truth. Carroll O'Connor died on June 21, 2001 at age 76 from a heart attack linked to complications from diabetes. He was laid to rest at Westwood Village Memorial Park Cemetery. A cenotaph honoring his son Hugh stands beside his grave, a permanent testament to love and loss. O'Connor left behind more than iconic roles. He left Custer's questions. He forced audiences to confront uncomfortable truths. He proved that television could be both entertaining and intellectually dangerous. He was difficult, demanding, and uncompromising, but also deeply human. His life reminds us that art is not born from comfort, but from conviction. Carroll O'Connor did not seek to be liked. He sought to be honest, and in that honesty, he earned immortality.